talk about the election and the election result. One Democratic congressman has a message for members of the Electoral College. He is asking, begging, pleading them to rethink voting for Donald Trump when they meet to make that selection next week. It's basically a last-ditch effort, possibly to change the outcome of the election. Let's talk right now with Democratic Congressman Jim Himes. He's joining me. Congressman, it's always good to see you. Thank you for coming in. You are calling for the members of the Electoral College when they meet next week to overturn the election, basically overturn the will of the people. How is that okay, Congressman?
Well, I'm asking them not necessarily to overturn the will of the people, but to consider why they exist, and to consider the question of whether, in Alexander Hamilton's phrase, and of course Hamilton is one of the reasons we have an electoral college, Donald Trump is temperamentally suited to be president. And make no mistake, this is not a partisan thing. Yes, I supported Hillary Clinton, but all of Donald Trump's partisan ideas, repealing the ACA, building the wall, whatever, that stuff's in bounds. What is not in bounds, what is way out of bounds, is running an international business empire and not doing what you need to do to avoid conflict of interest. What is not in bounds is criticizing the CIA and the intelligence community in a dangerous world and standing up for the Kremlin. It's not in bounds to tweet lies about 2 to 3 million fraudulent votes. All of these things raise questions about whether this man is temperamentally fit to be president of the United States. And look, I don't think this is a high probability of success thing, but that's why the Electoral College exists.
I want to get to the probability in just one second, but you call him temperamentally unsuited to be president. That was the line of the campaign for Hillary Clinton. That was decided on November 8th. Elections have consequences. How is this? How is this not a partisan issue?
As a legal matter, it was not decided on November 8th. A president by law is made in this country by the Electoral College coming together next week to cast their ballots, and then the Electoral College results are ratified in the Congress of the United States. That's how this country elects presidents. Now, by the way, I'm happy to have the conversation if that's a good way to elect presidents. It's a little uncomfortable when you elect presidents who don't have a majority of the popular vote, as has happened 3 times. But no, what happened on November 8th was an election in which the majority of Americans said they did not want Donald Trump as president. But forget about that. That's not the important thing. The important thing is that we have something called an Electoral College,
and this
which is not an algorithm.
We work with. Let's talk about, tell me what you think, what is the percentage chance you think this is going to work?
I think it's a very, very low probability that this is going to work.
How about 0?
Well, I can't tell you if it's 0 or 5%, but it's a low probability thing. But I think that there's a pretty significant chance that a year from now, we look back and say, oh my God, how did we get to this place? And was there anything we could have done to avoiding it?
Well, because this is the system we work within, and the country elected Donald Trump as president. All right, I'm going to move on.
And mind you, what I'm proposing is exactly the system as it is set up by the Constitution. I'm not proposing anything here that is extra legal or extra. We have an Electoral College. The Electoral College is made up of people who have judgment. I'm just saying the Electoral College should exercise its judgment.
Congressman, you sit on the